Oh. Hey guys, good evening and welcome back to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope everyone so far is having a fantastic Monday evening. Hope everyone's looking forward to the rest of their Monday evening. Hope everyone's looking forward to the rest of this brand new week in April 2023 this year. First of all, to be a massive favour for me, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. That is United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel and the community if you are new. And share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. And always remember to put the notification bell on at all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube for more Fortnite content, Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, FIFA 23 Career Mode, Man United, Football Manager, the new Disney Speed Demon game, and much more brand stuff planned for 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. So please subscribe if you are new, and good evening to all of you amazing people, you all legendary people, and welcome to the preview. Welcome to the UEFA Europa League quarter-final first leg preview between Manchester United and Spanish club Sevilla, Old Trafford on Thursday evening, the quarter-final stages of the UEFA Europa League for the 2022-2023 UEFA Europa League quarter-final stages of the competition. 8 p.m. over evening kickoff. First leg is at Old Trafford, in which probably another Spanish club, the amount of Spanish clubs Man United have faced in Europa League this season is absolutely crazy. We went from Real Sociedad to Barcelona to Real Betis and now Sevilla. And Man United have come out on top every game Man United have played Spanish competition. Sevilla this season have been one of those teams in Europa League that it doesn't surprise me that they've got this far. Sevilla have always one of those teams that win the Europa League quite a lot. Over the last few years, Sevilla have won it in the last 3 or 4 years because of the quality Sevilla and the players they've had, and the manager also at the Spanish club. But this season, Sevilla are a very, very different kettle of fish compared to the Europa League and the Liga. The Liga this season has been quite different to what the Europa League form is. Sevilla have been severely struggling in the Liga this season. They currently sit 13th in the Liga, probably their worst campaign in the Liga history, and have been really struggling to keep themselves afloat from the bottom 3 in the Liga this season. A massive shout out to Daryl Archer Games 247 in the chat, one of our managing moderators on the channel. Obviously got a good result against Watford today, after being 2-0 down in the Championship on match day 41. Massive shout out to him and his channel. Go check it out. His content's great. So yeah, Sevilla this season, like I said, have been fighting relegation in the Liga, and obviously sacked their manager a few weeks ago. I think it was either in March or February that Sevilla decided to part ways with their manager. And I think, Man United have got a big opportunity here to get this tie done and dusted over 2 legs. I think, if we can build the first leg lead like we did against Real Betis when we won 4-1 at home, I do feel like Man United in the second leg can go away to Sevilla basically knowing they are comfortable on the night, they're comfortable on aggregate, but still have the aim to go and win in the second leg, because Man United know the Europa League is important. Man United know that a European trophy this season is crucial to get back-to-back trophies under Erik ten Hag. And I think winning a European trophy would put Man United back on the continental map of being a European great again. I do feel like we will beat Sevilla over 2 legs. I do feel like time will tell over how Man United will approach this game. I feel like, at the moment, Man United are on a good reign of form, winning back-to-back Premier League games against Brentford and Everton, respectively. And I do feel like we'll take that form to Europa League Thursday night. I can't see Man United getting caused major concerns by the Sevilla team. I do feel like, though, they have got some danger players. Obviously, the change of manager probably is going to give Sevilla the new manager bounce. Obviously, the new manager bounce so far hasn't done Sevilla the world of good in the Liga, and the results have been massively impacted on and off the pitch for Sevilla in the Liga. And I feel like, the Europa League is probably a break from that competition and obviously their league. And probably Sevilla are probably going to know that, they're probably going to put in a bit more of a performance than what that Real Betis team did. I think Sevilla, for me, are personally the better team out of Real Betis than them. But obviously league form suggests otherwise because of where Sevilla's position is. Obviously being in the bottom half of the Liga is not where really Sevilla should be finishing. Sevilla really should be competing for Champions League and Europa League football with the quality players they've actually got in that team. But I feel like, if it's another Spanish club, I say bring it on. I feel like, the damage Man United have done in Europa League this season has been quite to tell because of the quality players and the great results we've achieved in this Europa League campaign. I feel like Man United can do a job over Sevilla in 2 legs. I feel like, the quality of Man United compared to Sevilla will tell over 2 legs. I feel like personally those players in that squad and that team will possibly like to get the second leg done very, very quickly. I do feel like, in my opinion, Man United will want this game won because they want to be able to go into the second leg away in Spain again. Man United know that if we can go win 1 or 2-0, the game is done and dusted. The tie is over. Man United will be in the semi-finals of the Europa League. And I do fully expect Man United to get there this season. I can't see us not bottling this Europa League with the teams left in it. But there are other dangerous teams in this Europa League. Obviously, you've got Juventus, you've got Sevilla, you've got Union Berlin. You've got other teams in this Europa League this season that are going to cause Man United problems. But I feel like, if a few results can go our way and a few, ties can go with us, then Man United should win this Europa League quite comfortably with the players and the manager we've got, because I feel like, Erik ten Hag is right about in his press conference reaction to the Everton game that playing 3 games in 6 days is absolutely ludicrous. I do feel like the Premier League, the EFL and the Football League and the Premier League this season are massively responsible for the fixture congestion this season. I do have sympathy with Erik ten Hag having to play 3 games in 6 days as a joke. It's not fair on the players, it's not fair on the squad, and it's not fair on the fitness and the health and the mental well-being of those Manchester United players, because the fatigue, the injuries, the suspension, and the concerns with their health and their mental well-being is going to be a concern having to play so much football. But at the end of the day, Man United footballers have got just to get on with it. I think all this moaning, all this complaining, it's only a negative sign towards the season going wrong. These are professional footballers at the end of the day. They don't deserve sympathy. They don't deserve their hand being held for them. They're professional human beings. They need to get on with their job. They're earning £100,000 a week, and you should be honoured to represent a great club like Manchester United and being able to put on that shirt in front of the Old Trafford crowd. And to win trophies is the aim this season. Win trophies is the target. And, Man United have got a huge opportunity now, because obviously Arsenal, the bottle club, like they bottled it against Liverpool yesterday, and in Europa League against Sporting Lisbon, when I sat there and laughed my absolute socks off by them getting knocked out Europa League on penalties by Sporting Lisbon, which, I sat there and absolutely pissed myself laughing. And I feel like now Man United are the favourites to go on and win the Europa League. I can't see Man United bottling this. I mean, if we did, for me, it would be a bit of a joke. It would be an embarrassment that we can't go on and win a European trophy. And if we can win Europa League this season, it's another step in the right direction under Erik ten Hag. It does prove all those doubters and haters wrong that Erik ten Hag wasn't the first choice. He wasn't what we wanted. And, Man United should have went for Pochettino. They should have went for Zidane. They should have gone for players like that. But, Man United have proved a lot of doubters and haters wrong this season. A lot of our rivals don't like it because we're sat there laughing at them instead of them laughing at us. And I feel like, the last few results have put Man United in a good stand of form. I think with the injuries returning on our side and the suspensions returning as well, it's only a positive sign for Man United to keep improving on and off the pitch, because obviously we're going to have a huge number of players back for the Europa League first. And obviously the return of Christian Eriksen at the weekend was a massive step towards that midfield being back to what it should have been. Obviously the return of Casemiro from suspension as well is also another massive positive impact that's going to be in that team Thursday night. Obviously the return of Anthony Martial from injury and also being him back on the score sheet is also giving Man United a confidence boost heading into the Thursday night game. Obviously, Donny van de Beek is still out injured. Don't expect him to return from his ACL injury till at least the end of this season because of the injury he did sustain against Bournemouth in the league, which obviously ended Van de Beek's season, which how that didn't pick up a yellow or red card is absolutely ludicrous and basically ended a quality midfielder like Donny van de Beek's season early, and we're missing his quality. It's very easy to tell where that midfield's lacking, and it was lacking again at the weekend. And I feel like ten Hag knows that midfield is lacking so much quality, and he does want competition next season. And that midfield you're looking at on paper, it is good, but it's not fantastic. It's not get off your feet and celebrate. It's a midfield that only gets you the job done. It only gets Manchester United over the line. And I feel like that midfield have got a huge responsibility on Thursday to get a performance out of everyone in that team, to get the momentum up, get the confidence up, and get that mentality up to go on and win this Europa League now. Because if we win the Europa League, obviously we qualify for the Champions League. I expect Man United to be there anyway because of their league position, obviously being in the top 4 in the Premier League, apart from Newcastle, Spurs, Liverpool and Chelsea, who are nowhere near us. That's obviously a massive positive sign as well that, Man United have stepped up in the last few games. Obviously, they saw the Newcastle result 3 weekends ago and they knew that result wasn't great. And they knew Man United had to step up in the last few games. And I feel like, we've been given some kind of response to what we suffered against Newcastle And I do feel like now, go to Sevilla at home on Thursday night, beat them convincingly in the first leg, take that first leg aggregate lead into the second leg, go and win 1 or 2-0 away in Spain against Sevilla, get in that semi-final Europa League, and then go on from there. Because, winning Europa League is a massive achievement for this club, because obviously that will show that, we can start competing with Europe's elite again. And I do feel like we've been up there. Some of the results we've achieved in Europe this season, Europa League, has been absolutely crazy. Man United have massively overachieved in Europe this season. Obviously, when we finished second in our group, I didn't expect Man United to go on and be in at least the quarterfinals Europa League. I expected when we got the Barcelona game, I was thinking Barcelona are going to do Man United over 2 legs, and I was worried what that Barcelona team could have done to Man United over 2 legs. But obviously, we beat them, we knocked them out, and Barcelona are in European football for the rest of the season. So it does prove that, Man United can play against Europe's best. Obviously, Barcelona are only just getting back under Xavi now, they're ex-legend of a player. And obviously, since the loss of Messi, Suarez and Neymar, Barcelona haven't been the same. And I think that's why we beat them over 2 legs in the playoffs. And then obviously beating Real Betis the way we did, and we tore that Spanish club apart. Man United did play well over 2 legs. We were the better team over the 2 legs, and Man United obviously got their justified spot in the quarterfinals. And I expect Man United to carry on like this on Thursday night. I do expect a strong performance. I expect that team to really step up to the plate. I think they'll step up to the mark, and I feel like they'll prove that, winning this European title is as good as winning the Carabao Cup. Personally, I feel like, we are prioritising a lot of this cup competitions now, because we know that the fixtures are coming thick and fast for Man United, and they know that the fatigues and injuries will only mount up with the squad we've got. But I do worry what is going to happen Thursday if we are missing a certain player in that team, aka Marcus Rashford. And obviously, he's had his scan on his groin injury today. We are just waiting for the results of that groin scan. He's had a CT scan as well. So we are currently waiting the results of that CT scan from that groin injury Marcus Rashford picked up against Everton at the weekend when we beat them 2-0 in the league. And I'm hoping and I'm praying that, he can play Thursday. And I feel like Ten Hag's going to have a quiet word with Marcus Rashford on the side and say, look, I can't rely on these other lot. I can't rely on this team without you. I can't trust these players to be able to do a job for me. In 90 minutes, if we miss your goal scoring threat and your attacking threat and your speed and your dribbling ability threat, then I don't see how Man United will get the result. I think Man United this season have been massively relied on Marcus Rashford's goals this season. 28 goals this season has been absolutely crazy. I didn't expect, Marcus Rashford to turn around the season he had under Solskjaer and Ralph Rangnick, and he's a completely different, transformed player. Does one player make a team? Of course not. There's no I in team. It's about every individual in that team, and I expect those players alone, if they've got Marcus Rashford or not, that team have got to step up to the plate and replace their injured player. And I hope those teammates know that if Marcus Rashford's in that team, they'll be able to take the game to Sevilla and do Marcus Rashford power. But like I said, I think, Ten Hag will have to have a quiet word with Marcus Rashford, say, look, I need you to play in these next few games. I know your groin injury is bad, but at the end of the day, these players need to stop whinging and crying about a slight little injury and throwing their twins out the pram about it, because at the end of the day, I've got a condition with my legs. I still play through the pain barrier. Do you see me moaning? No. Do you see me complaining about the pain or the agony? No. I get on with life. I carry on and I don't give up. And I feel like, those players last season, if they had injuries now, they'd probably throw their toys out the pram. They'd probably throw their mentality out the window, and they'd probably be the big I am again this season. But I feel like those players now know putting a Man United shirt on again is the best feeling in the world, because they'll turn around. Erik Ten Hag has delivered that team on and off the pitch, and I feel like, Marcus Rashford will want to play Thursday. He'll want to play against Sevilla. If that's from the bench, maybe that's the best outcome. But personally, I think we need Marcus Rashford to start, because if I'm looking at that forward line and I'm looking at that attack, there's so much praise being heaped on Jadon Sancho at the weekend, which is completely and utterly unjustified. Did anybody actually watch the game, or were we watching the game blind? Because at the end of the day, for me, Jadon Sancho was very, very poor against Everton. Basically, everyone got excited about him sitting 2 Everton players down on their asses, and everyone's got really, really hyped and excited about what he did. And it's like, basically, those Everton players ran into each other, and basically you're saying Sancho got past them because they ran into each other, and you're basically hyping that attacking move up, and it's not justified, and I completely disagree. that I think Jadon Sancho now is basically having his future on the line here. If Sancho doesn't step up against Sevilla, I can only see Ten Hag having to drop him. Will, Garnacho be fit for Thursday? I have no idea what Alejandro Garnacho's injury is like. I don't know how long Garnacho is going to be out for, but I do worry that if Jadon Sancho doesn't step up on Thursday, his future at his club is done. And I feel like, the comments Erik ten Hag made a few weeks ago that he's getting severely frustrated with Jadon Sancho, I do think are correct. I do think that is what he said, and I think he's told him that his future at this football club is now on a thin line because he's simply not showing it in a Man United shirt. I don't get the justified support Sancho's been given in the last few games because I don't feel like he's had a good game since Brentford. And against Everton at the weekend, I saw no quality, no attacking threat, and basically doing a little few skill moves, giving the ball away easily. He kept tracking back and kept giving the ball backwards instead of getting the ball forwards. And I feel like, if Jadon Sancho doesn't step up on Thursday, then that's his future done at Man United. I can see him being sold in the summer, and I do feel like then Erik ten Hag will go and get another wide attacker to replace Sancho's missing quality that apparently he's been offering in the last few games. And I do feel like now that a lot of people have been right about Sancho, he's not hit the ground running. The Premier League's a massive two-step up for him. And basically, he was so comfortable with the Bundesliga. He basically knew that he was going to score goals to get past the opposition players. No disrespect to other Bundesliga team. You're basically a pub league with Bayern Munich in it. And Bayern Munich run away with that competition and league every single bloody season. So it's not really that exciting to see the Bundesliga football watching on the telly because it's basically ran by Bayern Munich and Bayern Munich alone. So if Sancho starts against Sevilla on Thursday, I think Ten Hag's going to have a brutal word, say, look, you need to step up this hype, mate, because apparently you were so good against Everton. I've watched replays, I've watched the highlights, and basically I can't see where fans are getting that view from because I think Sancho in 90 minutes was so poor. And that is why he was then dragged off by Ten Hag in the second half because I think Ten Hag summed Jadon Sancho up. I really think he has. And I think he's told him, look, if you don't start performing the next few games, Jadon, you ain't going to be here next season. I will go and get a better player and I will replace you very quickly. But then which club are going to come up with ridiculous money that Man United are probably going to want, which they won't get? And then Man United will be stuck with another player the manager doesn't want. And then we'll be in a bloody circle of life all over and over again, trying to get rid of players the manager doesn't want, who are on ridiculous wages every single week that no one wants to afford or give players like Jadon Sancho at his new club. And, let's see what happens if Sancho starts. I'm willing to give Sancho another chance here. I do want him to step up. I want him to take it to Sevilla. And I want to start seeing him score some goals and go and pass the opposition defence because Sancho has got the game in him. He's got the ability to do it. I just don't know why he's not producing the winning article that we are all looking for. And if Sancho doesn't deliver, then I think, time has to come and he has to be sold in the summer because also if we can carry on the attacking line in my debate, I think if Marcus Rashford is missing on Thursday, can you rely on BFG's best friend, the Iron Giant in Weghorst? And can you rely on injury-prone Anthony Martial? For me, no. I do feel like, yet again, the hype around those two is absolutely unjustified. It's not commitment. It's a load of bull crap. And unfortunately, I think a lot of fans are not seeing what I'm seeing. Everyone's views and opinions are always respected. But I'm seeing this from a bigger point of view that Weghorst has been shit since he's been here. 2 goals in 13 games is disgusting. And Anthony Martial, who should have been sold in the 2022 summer transfer window, is still here at a club, picking up a living, taking a wage and not producing on the pitch. And everyone all of a sudden, since he scored against Everton, and like he said, he always scores against Everton, they've got on the hype train, they've got on the hype wagon, and they've massively hyped Anthony Martial's return to the team, the goal-scoring threat he's become, and all of a sudden, the hype train for Martial is back on the tracks, and everyone's like, well, if he can start putting the ball in the net, there's no reason why Ten Hag shouldn't start him. Well, there is a reason. I could name 5 or 6 reasons that Martial shouldn't be in this team. He can't put the ball in the net. He's injury-prone. He's inconsistent. And his attitude, for me, absolutely stinks. I saw this under Solskjaer. I saw this under Ralf Rangnick. And look what happened. Martial was got rid of by both because basically Martial wasn't stepping up. He wasn't taking the form into the team and he was thinking about himself. And I don't want Martial in a United shirt again this season. I think he's an absolutely overrated player. For me, he's just a B-Tech version of a really shit another Premier League player for me. I think Harvey Barnes is better than Martial. I think James Maddison's better than Martial. I would take both of them at Man United over Anthony Martial because they actually keep themselves fit. They're consistent with and without the ball, and they can both actually put the ball in the net. And I wouldn't trust Martial to start up front in Rashford's place because will Martial start at the left and Sancho down the middle if Rashford isn't fit? I don't agree with that. I don't think Martial will be put on the left. If Martial has to start, and we've got no choice but to start, and we're probably going to end up having to back him because, if Rashford's going injury severe and he's out for weeks and weeks on end, Martial has got a huge responsibility on his shoulders. And can that pressure keep being put on his shoulders in the next few weeks when the games aren't there and the net isn't there to put the ball in? And a massive shout out to my mate Kyle in the live manager moderator on my channel in the live chat. Thanks for the birthday gifts, by the way. Thanks for the card, the gifts and everything. I'll open that tomorrow because obviously it's my birthday tomorrow. So yeah, I'm celebrating my birthday tomorrow, which is going to be really, really good. So yeah, continue with the Martial debate. I think personally that, I wouldn't start him against Sevilla. I wouldn't trust him to do a job in 90 minutes. And I feel like, if he can start scoring, then maybe there's a point to be proved that does Martial continue a future here. But I think, according to rumours, that Martial's future's already been decided next season, that he ain't going to be at the club. Manchester United are going to sell him. And I think, we deserve a lot better than what we've got in that useless mercenary. And then we move on to Weghorst. I mean, whoever sanctioned that loan deal in January really needs their head screwing on properly. Get a screwdriver, get a bolt wrench, and basically put their head on properly because whoever sanctioned that loan deal was an absolute fool, an absolute clown, and an absolute idiot for making that move possible because Weghorst has come here and basically repeated his Burnley record. 2 goals in 13 games since he's been here. Everyone's hyping up saying he tracks back, he does a job for Ten Hag, he's great up front with his aerial ability, he can hold the ball up, he can put pressure on the back four of the opposition team. Absolutely disagree. Weghorst has been shit since he's been here. 2 goals in 13 games, like I said, the Burnley record is nearly being repeated. And basically, people think he deserves a chance up front. They think he deserves an opportunity in this team, and they think he deserves to be playing for this club next season. Well, I'm telling you now, if Weghorst is kept next season, I'm done. Because at the end of the day, Man United should have got better. They should have found the money for other strikers, but obviously the continued excuses of a few years ago is now being reduced back into this team again by clueless Muppets and clueless owners that have no clue how to run this club. And basically, Ten Hag is stuck with basically the BFG's best friend in the Iron Giant and basically thinks that Weghorst is basically a prime Ronaldo. And basically, that to replace Ronaldo was a joke in the first place. Man United have really let their manager down, and the goals record is showing it for Weghorst. He puts no commitment, there is no passion, there is no desire on the pitch or off the pitch. And basically, people think that he's a great addition to this team. He's really not. He's not done the job Ten Hag has wanted him to do. And I think Ten Hag has now made his mind up, thinking, do you know what? I shouldn't have signed Weghorst. He shouldn't have been brought into the club and basically shouldn't have been given a start in this team. And I've idiotically given him a chance to prove himself. And what's he done to me? He's basically shat on me and basically not produced what I wanted. And basically, I've had to put him back on the bench due to the fact that Martial's returned from injury. And Weghorst is basically just a mercenary being sat on the bench earning a living. And if he's given a chance against Sevilla, I think Sevilla will absolutely outplay him. Sevilla will know his game. The back four will be all over him like a cat chasing a pigeon. They'll be able to adapt to Weghorst's threat and they'll absolutely put them in his pocket. And Weghorst will then probably have to be dragged off at halftime just to bring off a bench option that I don't think is going to work. And I feel like we haven't really got a prolific goal scorer. Apart from Rashford, we haven't got any other goal scorers in that team up front that can do the job. And I feel like, if Rashford was injured and he's out for weeks, then can you trust those two up front for the next few results? No. That team will crumble like a Maryland cookie biscuit if Man United's Rashford is out injured. And if he is out injured, I dread what's going to happen in the next few games. We can't afford to miss Marcus Rashford in that team. Rashford's going to have to play on Thursday. No ifs, no buts, no excuses. I honestly couldn't give a crap if he's got a groin injury. He has got to play through that pain barrier. He's a professional footballer who has done fantastic this season. 28 goals is absolutely crucial to his reincarnation from what I saw last season. And if he's not preparing to do that, then Marcus Rashford should be at Man United at the end of the day. He's a grown professional footballer who's got the quality to be able to do it. And if he can do it, great. Let's get him back in that team as fit as hell, so he can keep playing in this team. But I feel like he has to play. We haven't got any other options to go with, and I think Ten Hag doesn't really want to have to pick Martial or Weghorst, because he's summed them up. He's figured both of them out so quick that he's realised, thinking, shit, I haven't got another player to replace Rashford. What do I do with it? Because I think he's lost the trust in Weghorst, and I think it's the same with Martial. Those two really shouldn't even be at the football club. It's a joke that we've kept players like that at this club. If I'm the manager of the club, which I actually am, because I play FIFA 23 with Man United, I'm the manager. I get rid of the deadwood, and I get the great, and I get the best players. That is what we don't have at this club. And a rebuild is needed, because if the rumours are true, 13 players are being sold this summer. It needs to be more than 13, because players like Tom Heaton and Jack Butland shouldn't be here. McTominay and Fred shouldn't be here. Phil Jones, Twanzebe, Mengi, Palestri, Alanga, Maguire, Lindelof, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, Malacia. There are so many players in that team that should be there next season. And if we keep players like that, then I think Mourinho's history is going to repeat itself. I do feel like, in my opinion, then that will end Ten Hag's management at Man United, because what happened was 2 or 3 years later, Mourinho was sacked, we brought him an interim, we got Solskjaer, and then it all went wrong again. And I don't want this to repeat in itself. I love Erik Ten Hag. For me, he's a better manager than all the other managers in this league. For me, he's outscored Arteta this season, Eddie Howe, Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp. Obviously, Graham Potter, more like Harry Potter, who obviously got sacked by Chelsea. He's outscored Lampard. He's outscored so many managers easily. I feel like Ten Hag deserves a bit of respect on his shoulders. He knows that this Europa League squad isn't strong enough, and he knows that he's probably picking this team that he probably knows is going to be his best team Thursday, because he knows if Man United go out Europa League, it's just another bad result to end this season on a negative. We don't need the season to go horribly wrong. We need the season to keep heading in the right direction. And if it keeps heading in the right direction, this season could end with a treble. FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and Europa League. 3 trophies in one season would be absolutely ludicrously good to see that our football club in Man United back on top, where it should be, back on the top of English football, back on the top of European football, back in the Champions League. No more Thursday night next season in Europa League, Europa Conference League. This team's going to be fine under this manager. I just want a bit of respect and a bit of trust put on his shoulder. And all those people saying, oh, Ten Hag's out, he ain't good enough to Man United, he keeps bottling it. Well, we're in top 4. We've actually won a trophy. What other clubs have won trophies this season apart from Man United? Oh, forgot none. Because he's basically getting us in an overachieving position, because, you know, we have overachieved, but I do agree with him. We shouldn't have to be playing 3 games in 6 days. The Premier League should have had a break. The EFL should have had a mid-season break. Europa League, Champions League, Europa Conference League, everything should have had a mid-season stop, a mid-season break to get everyone back fit from injury and suspension, and to give this team a break, because these players are knackered. You are seeing it in every game now. You are seeing the fatigue. You are seeing the anger. You are seeing the tiredness in several of those players' performances, and that is what is angering me, because I know those players have got the energy and the charisma and the quality in them to keep playing like that. But I think the more longer we moan about it, it's just going to affect the morale and the confidence, and it will soon affect the players' performances in several positions. And I feel like, you know, Ten Hag is getting the best out of what he's got. He knows that Europa League team is going to be probably the team he probably picked at the weekend. The only additions I would probably make to that team is inquire of changes. Casemiro obviously is available from suspension out. He has served his 4-game suspension against Newcastle, Fulham, Brentford and Everton. He's going to be back for the Europa League first night. And thank God Casemiro is back in that team, because in that CDM position, Fred and McTominay simply can't do his job. They didn't prove it at the weekend. They didn't prove it last week against Brentford. And against Everton, both of them were crap. Added no quality into that team. Everyone is hyped McTominay over a false international break, when basically the only reason Scott McTominay gets in that Scotland international team is basically because he's the only decent player the Scotland international team have actually got, because the rest of them are crap and basically are based up in the Scottish Premiership. So I do feel like, you know, McTominay shouldn't even be in that team on Thursday. Casemiro has to come straight back in. McTominay doesn't deserve to be given a start again on Thursday night against Sevilla. I wouldn't start Fred either because we've got better quality than both of them put together. Obviously, the return of Eriksen. Do I expect Eriksen to start Thursday? I think Ten Hag's got to, because I think Ten Hag knows his best midfield three is Casemiro, Bruno Fernandes and Christian Eriksen. They can't be dropped. They are, all three of them are undroppable. They basically are the best midfield Man United have had in nearly 3 or 4 years. And I feel like the quality all three of them are shown this season is why they were brought to the club. They were all signed for this football team, and this is why they are Manchester United players. Christian Eriksen has added so much quality. He reminds me of a prime Juan Mata when we first got Mata from Chelsea. Eriksen is doing that job in that midfield, and the amount of chances and the creations and the assists he gets in that team, as well as the crucial goals that Eriksen has actually scored this season in a Man United shirt, especially on a free transfer. Christian Eriksen probably, for me, has to go in that Premier League team this season, as well as Casemiro, because you've seen the job he has done since he's coming from Real Madrid. The quality is at CDM, the way he can sit in front of that back four, control the game, control the midfield, and basically gets the job done, which McTominay and Fred couldn't. And you're basically then stuck with a McDonald's main menu item in McFred, because you basically know McFred and McTominay and Fred are going to cost his team. And that is what you saw last season. And since you've taken him out of this team, Man United are a whole lot better. The quality and the confidence in that midfield is there, because basically other teams and other rivals saw the lackluster quality that midfield had when McTominay and Fred would start in games for Man United. And you look at that midfield now and you look at the difference it's made. Man United are on another level. For me, we've got the best midfield in the Premier League. I think we've got a better midfield than Liverpool and Chelsea and Spurs, Arsenal and Man City, and even Newcastle. For me, though, their midfields can't compete with what we've got. We've got the better quality players, and we've got the great additions that we signed in the summer in Eriksen, also Casemiro. And then you look at the addition of Marcel Sabitzer. I mean, there was a lot of people saying Marcel Sabitzer wasn't great against Everton. I mean, did anybody actually watch the Everton game? Because Marcel Sabitzer was probably our best player in the first 15 to 20 minutes. The amount of chances he got on goal, the amount of great passing, long range and short, and the amount of assists he can get. He nearly made a goal for Fernandes, which Jordan Pickford saved in the second half. Sabitzer can do the impossible, and that is what I like. He reminds me of a prime Bruno Fernandes when Fernandes was first brought to the club. He's basically a reincarnation of Bruno Fernandes. He's got the quality in his feet to be able to produce something out of the ordinary, but because that is what I like. Sabitzer is one of my favourite players. I love Marcel Sabitzer. Look at the quality he's been brought in since we got him from Bayern Munich on loan in the January transfer window, and you look at the reincarnation of that midfield. It looks quality with him in it. And for me, would you drop him on Thursday and start Eriksen over Sabitzer? I mean, that's another question I would ask myself and ask everybody else. Would you start Sabitzer over Eriksen? Would you put Eriksen straight back in that team? For me, I think Sabitzer's going to have to keep starting because he's producing the results on the pitch. His performances are justified with the great performances he is having in several of these last few games, especially against Everton and Brentford. Sabitzer was probably our best midfield attacking option in that team. And the amount of chances on goal, and the amount of assists and the chances created he was making the other Man United players, he basically is taking that midfield up another level. Since the injuries to Donny van de Beek and Christian Eriksen, you look at the quality Sabitzer has brought into that position since both of them have been injured. He's basically, for me, in my opinion, a massive, massive upgrade on that team by an absolute mile. We've not had that diamond in the rough. We basically should have went for Sabitzer when we had the opportunity to go and get him in the first place, because you look at the quality addition he is in that midfield, and he makes that midfield light up. It's like a concert. It's like a disco. He's lighting up that midfield because the quality in that midfield simply wasn't there under Solskjaer. It wasn't there under Ralph Rangnick. And I would personally make the signing permanent in the summer. Don't sneeze at 18 to 20 million and go and get him and make it a permanent signing, because I know what I've been told. Man United are eager to do it. Bayern Munich are eager to do it. Both sides and both parties are willing to get this deal done for Sabitzer to permanently become a Man United player full-time. I think the deal will happen. Let's see what happens in the summer. Obviously, we've discussed the midfield. We've obviously then discussed the attack. Obviously, I think Anthony will start. Personally, I mean, look, the chance Anthony had against Everton, he should have took. There's no excuses to not put the 3 or 4 great chances he actually had to get an hat-trick against Everton. I mean, the 3 chances he had are not easy. They're not easy chances to put the ball in the net, but he should have taken at least 2 out of 3. And like Paul Scholes said, that was the best performance Anthony has put in a Man United shirt. I completely agree. He's been an absolute diamond since he's come on that right wing. We've not had that type of quality left-footed right winger for years and years. We've not had that for decades. That is how bad the right wing has actually been at Man United. The quality he's brought in from Ajax, the goals and the assists and the talent and the skill of both feet, that is what you call a talented, gifted footballer. Anthony is going to be out there for one of the best right wingers in the next few years. Anthony is going to be up there with Messi. He's going to be up there with Ronaldo. Anthony has got the game, he's got the ability, and he's got he's got the skill to be absolutely phenomenal. Because that left foot he's got is like rocket. It's like Ronnie O'Sullivan with his cue in snooker. He can cue left-handed and right-handed. You give Anthony that ball on his left foot, you basically know, thinking, shit, don't put him onto his left foot. Make him convert to the right so we can close the ball down and get the ball off him. But don't give Anthony the ball on his left foot, because you basically know you're deeply screwed if you give him the ball and give him a chance on goal. Because if he's got that left foot, you know where that ball's going. It's going in the top corner of the net. I think Anthony will produce that on Thursday, because if you look at the chance he had against Everton, he should have buried them. There are no excuses, but, you know, he is still adapting to the Premier League. He's still adapting to Erik ten Hag's style of play at Man United, but he's made that right wing light up, and I love what Anthony has brought to this club since we signed him from Ajax. The charisma, the dedication, the passion and the heart he's got in that badge, the shirt for the fans and the supporters. Anthony has really stepped up in the last few games. I've been massively impressed with Man United's front three lately. That's the best front three I've seen in Sancho, Rashford and Anthony for years. I've not seen that for decades. For me, going all the way back to the Ronaldo, Tevez and Rooney era, I've not seen that front three the way it has been since those ages, way back then in the 2007-2008 season. I have not seen that style of charisma and effort from a Man United front three since 2007, when we had Rooney and Ronaldo and Tevez. I've not seen that since then. But now I feel like we've got that in massive, pure, talented players in those three attacking positions. And I feel like those three are going to be crucial. So for me, I feel like ten Hag will probably stick with Anthony. I don't blame him if he does, because I feel like Anthony has been given a lot of unfair justification in the last few games. People saying he's not great, he's not fantastic, he doesn't do well with the ball, he doesn't put the ball in the net. Well, maybe if you watch the highlights against Everton, you would see the quality he brought on that right wing, and maybe open your eyes up, put the telly on and go and see what Anthony's actually offering in that attacking front three. On that right wing, Anthony is deadly. He's like a great white shark. Don't give him the ball. Don't become the bait, because Anthony will eat you up whole. That is what Anthony can do in that team. He will start on Thursday. There's no doubt about it. And if we're moving on to that back four, personally, if Luke Shaw is injured still, which he probably is going to be injured, Malacia will probably start again, unfortunately, because, you know, we've got no other backup left back. Malacia is basically all Manchester United have got, which is unfortunate, but you know, that's the left back. But that's the left back problems at Man United. We haven't got a decent backup left back that we actually need. Can Luke Shaw recover in time for Thursday? Because apparently his injuries are not that bad. Well, Luke Shaw gets more injured than having a paper cut on your finger, and basically is somehow still at this club, which makes no mathematical sense. So I feel like ten Hag is going to have no choice but to probably start Malacia at left back if Luke Shaw is unable to start, or he's not fit to even play the whole 90 minutes. Will Luke Shaw be back on the bench from that injury? Probably not. Luke Shaw probably is going to be fully out for the game on Thursday, so that's another unfortunate moment for Man United to basically have to be stuck with Malacia. And I mean, he wasn't great at the weekend, and I can't understand how people hyped his performance up either. It's just not justified, some of these praise and some of these comments these footballers get. It's just massively over justification of pure, go and look at the game, go and watch what we're trying to produce, because that club can't do it. And I don't trust that left back and right back position.
Right, do you want your break or not?
Yes.
Now?
Yeah, in a minute, yeah. So, yeah, I feel like unfortunately it's going to be Malacia at left back. I think we then move on to the right back and the centre back position. I think Maguire has to be taken out of that team for Thursday. I don't want to see Harry Maguire anywhere near that Manchester United team ever again. He was crap against Everton. The quality he didn't have in that game was telling. And unfortunately, he was getting done over by Damari Gray. Varane has got to go back in that team on Thursday night. There was no excuses or no reason for justified Varane starting on the bench. Is Varane carrying injury? Is he still carrying a bloody knock still? God knows what Varane's doing back on the bench, but maybe he's actually carrying an injury or not that Ten Hag has had to keep him safe and protect him. I think also Delo has to come back in on Thursday as well. I thought Wan-Bissaka, if he's been told he can go in the summer, I don't blame him either, because Wan-Bissaka hasn't stepped up since he's been at this club. I do feel like Delo hasn't either, but that's the choice at right back we've got as well. And I think Ten Hag has had the nail hit on the head that he realises that both right backs at this club are not good enough. Both right backs at this club shouldn't even be here. And both right backs signed by this club shouldn't have never happened. We've wasted stupid money on pathetic right backs who can't do a job for this club. Wan-Bissaka hasn't improved this season. Delo can't step up to the mark. And that's the big problem at right back, that we don't have that. And I think we've got to do it in the summer. And what I've been told today, the 5 key positions in that team next season is a striker at the top of this level, a young striker. So their targets are Harry Kane, that Ferguson from Brighton, a midfielder, a centre-back, a right-back, and a goalkeeper. We are prioritising 6 players in the summer, an experienced striker and a young striker that can develop at this club. I've been told that by several sources today, because I am on Twitter, I am on TikTok. Go and give me a follow on both of them. And then subscribe to this channel on YouTube, United Red Devils 20. If that is the key areas, I completely agree. But it should be 2 strikers, 2 midfielders, 2 right backs, 2 centre backs, a goalkeeper. I want 9 players at this club this summer. We have got to at least make 8 to 9 brand new signings this summer. The Qataris, I'm praying and giving you a private message. Please come and save this club. The focus is fully on Europa League. This is what the preview's for. But I'm praying and telling the Qataris, please come and buy this football club. Please come and save us. And please get this club back to where it should be, at the top of English and European football. We need them to come and buy this club. We need investment. We need millions of hundreds of millions of pounds being spent on this squad. We need, in my opinion, excess of 400 to 500 million being spent on this squad in the summer. That's not unrealistic. That is a realistic target that needs to be spent on this squad, this players and this team in the summer. We need to get rid of at least 13 to 16 players, bring in at least 10. So I would go with Harry Kane as the striker option, experienced striker. Even Ferguson from Brighton as the inexperienced striker. I would then bring in Jude Bellingham, Frankie de Jong for the 2 midfield positions. The 2 right backs, I would though get Frimpong from Bayern Leverkusen, Sergino Dest from Barcelona. I would then go and get that Kim from Napoli. I would also try and go and get De Ligt from Bayern Munich. I would then go and get Diego Costa or David Raya as the backup goalkeeper. Those 9 players are massively doable. If you could bring all 9 of them to Man United this summer, we'll be okay, because the right back issue is an issue still. You look at the centre back position still, it's still an issue. The midfield is still an issue, and that attack is still an issue. And 9 players in all those positions, that is doable for Man United in the summer. Don't dare come out and tell me there is no money to spend in the summer. We've got to sell to buy. It is a complete and utter load of bollocks. Don't believe the lies or some of those blue tick people on Twitter telling you we've got to sell to buy. Man United have got to compete with financial fair play. It's a complete load of bollocks. It's complete lies. All those people telling you that. I want to become a blue tick person on Twitter eventually. I tell the truth. I tell it how it is. There is no issues at Man United financially. Man United have got money to spend in the summer. Don't believe those people telling you it's sell to buy. We've got to sell to bring new players in. It's a complete load of bollocks, but the focus has to be Thursday. And I've given my team, it needs to be De Gea in goal. Delo, Varane and Sandro Martinez and Luke Shaw. For me in the midfield 3, Casemiro, I'm going to say Sabitzer and Fernandes, because I think Eriksen will probably be back on the bench again. The attacking 3, it has to be Rashford no matter what, if he's got an ongoing injury or not. I really couldn't care. He's got to step up. He's got to play through the pain barrier. Normal people like us do it. We play through the pain barrier and we get on with our lives and we carry on. We don't give up and we keep fighting. And it has to be Sancho on the left, Anthony on the right. That, for me, has to be the United team. The usual suspects will be on the bench. Jack Butland, Fred, McTominay, Maguire, Lindelof, Palestri, Martial, Weghorst, probably Sedanic, Bow as well. Scoreline, I'm going to go for 3-0 Man United. I think they'll get the job done over the first leg, and I'll go into the second leg even more confident and finish the job away in Spain. So I hope you enjoyed the preview. Remember to hit the like button, the share button. Please subscribe to Unite Red Devils 20 if you're new on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel and to the community if you're new. Remember to share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to always put the notification bell on so you receive all dedicated brand new content notifications for brand new stuff I have planned exclusively for all of you new people. We've got more Fortnite, Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, F1 23, FIFA 23 Christmas with Man United, Solve City and LAFC in America, Football Manager with Solihull Moors, Boreham Wood, Manchester United. We've got the new EA Sports FC game coming, Disney Dreamlight Valley, and the new Disney Speed Demon game as well. Got that coming as well. And please join me for the match reaction Thursday night, which hopefully is the Man United win. Hopefully we'll beat Sevilla convincingly 3-4 now over the first leg. Take the second leg advantage to Spain for the second leg. Hopefully we'll win. Hopefully we'll have a fantastic night at Old Trafford. Get behind those players. Get behind the manager. Come on, Manchester United. Come on, you Reds. Enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. Thanks for watching.